your forecast first. Sponsored by Matex Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
Oh, boy, it is a chilly night out there. Temperatures just tumbling today. And the rain and the storms we had as well earlier, those have all pushed off to the east. Things have cleared at least, but ooh, look at the temperatures. It is 44 in Champaign and in Springfield, 46 in Effingham. And tomorrow, another chilly day. We're thinking 30s to start out in the morning, finding our way, struggling our way to the lower 50s. For highs. We have a lot of sunshine for tomorrow. We'll talk to you about whether or not we will get out of these cold temperatures anytime soon. WCIA 3 News starts right now.
Now on WCIA 3 News.
More gun violence in Decatur. Now police are investigating the death of a pregnant woman. He was supposed to be arraigned for a deadly hit and run. Why a suspect wasn't able to make it all the way through his hearing. And they're not able to cheer on the Illini in person. Why that's not stopping these dedicated fans.
You're watching your local news leader. This is WCIA 3 News at 10.
It's just a lot different town than it used to be.
Her neighbor was shot and killed early this morning. She says it's the latest in a string of tragedies. Good evening. I'm Paul Cicchini. Jessica's off tonight. 31-year-old Shatia Brooks was shot in her home. It happened on East Hickory Street shortly after 4 a.m. WCIA 3's Gabrielle Cook joins us from the newsroom tonight. So, Gabrielle, this turned out to be a double murder.
Yes, Paul. Not only was Shatia Brooks killed, but so was her unborn child. Someone I spoke with who lives on the same block says she's lived in the area for 30 years and says the violence is getting worse. Police say it started outside. They say someone shot into Brooks' home, killing her. The coroner says she died after being shot in the head. Brooks was pregnant, and her death is being investigated as a homicide. Someone who lives in the neighborhood says this shooting, while tragic, is even worse because 2 lives were lost.
That it's tragic. I looked, on her Facebook page, and I found it, and, she had her little round belly, and, it's just tragic that not only her life was taken, but her unborn child's.
Karen Cowell was born and raised in Decatur. She says she's seen the way the neighborhood has changed over the years.
The violence, especially gun violence, is just out of control. The whole town is so much different now than it used to be.
Police are still investigating what happened. We've reached out to Brooks' family, but have not heard back. If you have any information, Decatur police are asking that you give them a call. Live in the newsroom, I'm Gabrielle Cook. Paul?
All right, Gabrielle, thanks. Now, a man in Decatur is in custody after police say he fired a gun in their direction. 31-year-old David Cotton, right here, was arrested for aggravated discharge of a firearm and possession of a weapon by a felon. Police responded to East Leafland and North Calhoun Streets for gunfire. When officers arrived, they saw someone fire at least 3 shots. And the officers say they were shot at. Now, the shooter was tracked to a nearby home, and that's where Cotton was arrested. People who live in Decatur say they're upset by the violence in the city.
We need to start to reach out to some of our young people, as well as, older people who've been out here, in the streets for a while, just to encourage people that their life actually makes a difference.
The officer who was shot at and the other officers involved did not fire back. Police are still investigating. Champaign police are investigating gunfire tonight. They're near the intersection of Holly Hill Drive and Summerlin Lane. The area is blocked off. No word yet if anyone was hurt. Another arrest was made in connection with a murder in Richland County last month. It is the 5th person behind bars for the murder of 19-year-old Kyle Johnson. Misty Whipple of Mount Vernon in southern Illinois has been charged with aiding a fugitive. Police say she helped accused killer Rick Meador flee police by renting a van to go to Florida. Meador, Tara Hawes, Dale Boatman, and a 16-year-old girl are all facing charges of first-degree murder. The man charged with hitting a bicyclist in Mahomet didn't make it through his arraignment this afternoon. Robert O'Malley is charged in a crash that killed Dr. Bill Shue. O'Malley fainted while the judge was discussing bond with the state's attorney and the defense. O'Malley needed an IV before being wheeled away.
I was reminding the judge of some of the things that he had been told previously, and then some additional information that ISP learned when they executed the search warrant and located the vehicle. At that point, apparently Mr. O'Malley passed out.
O'Malley's charged with leaving the scene of a personal injury accident that resulted in death. He faces up to 15 years if convicted. He's due back in court Monday for a bond hearing. O'Malley was out on probation for felony theft when that crash happened. He has a history of speeding tickets and a DUI. A woman was seriously hurt after she was hit while walking in Champaign last night. She was crossing the street between the Country Fair Shopping Center and the Red Barn Shopping Center on Springfield. 66-year-old Barbara Anastasi is charged with aggravated DUI for that crash. Witnesses said it looked like Anastasi was, quote, flying by trying to beat a red light. She faces up to 12 years behind bars if convicted. We're almost to the end of Teen Driving Safety Week. Teenage driver deaths are down 74% since 2007 after stricter licensing programs went into place. IDOT says 41 teenagers died in car crashes last year. Parkland College offers a traffic safety program for teenagers and young adults with driving violations. Instructors are worried about all the car crashes across central Illinois over the past few weeks, many of them deadly.
There have been some fatalities involving cyclists or other drivers, and it's always sad to hear of someone getting injured or lose their life because of an accident. And some of it is because someone's not driving safely, and some of it is just kind of unfortunate mix of all sorts of things.
Some of that unfortunate mix could be rain, snow, and/or wind. Instructors at Parkland say you have to know how to recognize hazards and figure out quick solutions to prevent crashing in time. Let's take a look now at COVID-19 numbers from across the state. There are nearly 3,900 new cases. As of last night, nearly 2,500 people were in the hospital with the virus, and 511 were in the ICU, 197 on ventilators. Positivity rate in the state is slightly down at 5.6%. 31 more people have died, including 12 in central Illinois. More than 9,400 people have died a COVID-related death. Now, 51 counties, that's half the counties in the state, are now on Illinois' warning list. Those from central Illinois include Christian, Douglas, Ford, Macon, Macoupin, Moultrie, Shelby, and Vermilion. All have 2 or more COVID-19 risk factors. Health officials in one of those counties is now pleading with people to remain vigilant. Cases in Macon County rose by more than 1,000 in 2 weeks. The positivity rate there is 11.7%. They say most of the cases are not in long-term care facilities and instead are from people out and about in the community.
Some of the places that we are seeing hotspots or outbreaks also have not changed. It's gathering spaces large and small, whether it's someone going out to a restaurant or bar or even gathering in their own home or their backyard. So it's very important that we choose wisely when we gather and make sure that we're masking and social distancing.
She says other ways cases have spread are from people going to work while symptomatic and from people refusing to follow public health guidance, including wearing a mask and wearing it appropriately. Houston City Hall will be closed for longer than expected. Another city employee tested positive for COVID-19. We had previously reported the building would be closed until Monday because of an employee having tested positive. That date's been pushed back until November 9th. Anyone who needs city services can call City Hall. Jewish students at the U of I filed a federal complaint about a rise of anti-Semitism on campus. The complaint was submitted in March. They're accusing the university of not taking appropriate action to address vandalism of Jewish houses, an increase in swastikas, and direct harassment of Jewish students. One student says some of the things she and her friends have been told are simply hurtful.
The fact that I heard about the swastikas from group chats that I'm in, from Jewish student group chats, and not from the actual university itself, who's telling us, hey, listen, this is what's going on your campus, and this is what we're doing about it.
U of I says it takes the threat seriously, will never tolerate bigotry, racism, or hate, and condemns acts and expressions of anti-Semitism. Here's an update now. The Carlinville City Council seated an interim mayor after the death of Mayor DEANNA DEMUZIO. Alderwoman Sarah Oswald will finish DeMuzio's term, and a new mayor will be sworn in May. Services for DeMuzio will be held Monday. A private Mass and grade 5 service will take place before a public procession at 12:30. For procession route and information, you can visit our website, WCIA.com. We know COVID-19 can have severe symptoms. What issues one woman is still dealing with. Plus, it's a watch party on a much bigger screen. How Illini fans cheered on their team tonight. And fans weren't the only ones excited for the season opener, so was a former teammate.